Hi there, I am Laina Orlando, and today I have been guided to share with you some little nuggets of wisdom out of A Course in Miracles, which is my favorite book to teach from because it's my favorite book to continue to learn from. I've been on this journey with this book now for over 10 years, and it just blows me away how much wisdom I still glean from it as I study it, and I study it on a regular basis. So, what I'm sharing comes from chapter 29 in the text. The title for that is called The Awakening, and the section that I'm in is section number 7, titled Seek Not Outside of Yourself. So, I'm going to read from a couple different paragraphs. So, I am not going to tell you which one I'm in because I'm just going to be jumping around. But all of it comes from section number 7, which is titled again, Seek Not Outside Yourself. It starts with that. Seek not outside yourself, for it will fail, and you will weep each time an idol falls. Heaven cannot be found where it is not, and there can be no peace excepting there. The only place we're going to find peace is going to be in heaven, not outside of ourselves. As the world is in the midst of the big shift that we are going through right now, it is May 26th, 2021. We have a big supermoon tonight, big supermoon eclipse taking place right now. Massive energies. We're in the process of receiving more love, more light from this powerful universe that we exist inside of, which means we're opening ourselves to receive more of the truth of who we are. This is why I'm sure I was inspired to share this, because nothing that we really want is outside of ourselves. We are operating inside of, Course in Miracles has made this really clear for me, inside of a dream where we are pretending to be what we're not. Just like at night when we sleep and we have all kinds of things happening in our mind and we think it's true and we think we go and fly and we are in a spaceship. We think we have animals or a house or a pool and all of it feels so real. Well, that's what this world that we live in is the same thing. We are imagining it and we're having an experience of it, with it, interacting, you and I, and everything that is around us, to have an experience of how powerful we are, that we can create our reality. But what has happened to us is we have fallen asleep and we think the outside has power and not that it is coming from within us. So the Course in Miracles is a course in mind training, training our mind to stop looking at the outside as if it has power and to begin to come inside where the power is, shift our perception, begin to see things with love. These are our loving creations. Pull power from them and bring it back where it actually has always been by correcting our mind. And from that place, we begin to co-create together a happy dream, a world where everything is created from love. Everything is created from light, from kindness, from grace, from generosity. So seek not outside of yourself, because there is nothing out there when we wake up that we want. Because when we awaken, it's because we have found everything already in here. So let me read this again. Seek not outside of yourself, for it will fail, and you will weep each time an idol falls. Heaven cannot be found where it is not, and there can be no peace excepting there. So heaven, the kingdom of heaven is within. Idols are positions, people in positions of authority, the head of this organization, the boss, the parent, the teacher, people that we believe have the power to make us happy or unhappy. People who have our well-being in their power, our abundance in their power, our health in their power, our life in their power, our joy in their power. You know, we've been trained to believe that I'll be happy once I get my partner. You complete me. That the government has my safety, my security in its hands. That the movie star can make me feel good about myself. That if I have the Botox or I have the shift, the change, the new outfit, the right color lipstick or the special kind of car, that I'm somebody. All of those are idols that do not bring us happiness. If anything, we're seeing more quickly now that those things collapse and break and cause trouble and cause suffering because we are ascending. We are being pulled into with these new energies into a new awareness of the power that is inside of us. And when you awaken, you realize there's nothing outside that you really want to make you happy. Your happy self enjoys what is outside, which means you don't create attachments and you don't have idols, and things will come and things will go, and you experience the movement of things, but from a very peaceful place inside, because you have come to know where the authority for your happiness is, and it is within. You're listening to the voice that guides you, the voice for God, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's your higher self, your wise self, your intuitive self, but it is ultimately our access to the creative source. And then it goes on to say that each idol that you worship, when God calls, will never answer in his place. When God calls us into our purpose, nothing outside is going to answer for God. It can't. So when God calls you to become, to write a song, to become an artist, to become a parent, to become a whatever it is that you are being called into participating in as part of our co-creation in this world that we appear to populate. When you are called by God into service, the government can't do it for you. The medication outside of you, the jab can't do it for you. If you're being called into well-being from inside, it's not going to come to you from the outside. So each idol that you worship when God calls will never answer in his place. It's a beautiful thing to awaken and answer a calling that is coming from within. Absolutely beautiful. There is no other answer that you can substitute and find the happiness God's answer brings. Seek not outside of yourself, for all your pain comes simply from a futile search for what you want, insisting where it must be found. What if it's not there? How many things have you had that you thought were going to make you happy and didn't? The job, the partnership, the other marriage, the other relationship, the house, the car, the status. How many things have you been searching out there, thinking that if you get the job, you're going to be fine now, you're not going to be worried anymore, only to end up having adverse reactions or possibly death for some. Thinking that if you get that money, you're going to retire and be happy, and then the money goes away. Or the money maybe doesn't go away, but it creates a lot of stress because now people only want you because you have that money. I've lived in those places. I've lived with the money. I've lived without the money. I've lived with the partner. I've lived without the partner. Always realizing that I've always am left with the potential of creating a relationship with God within me. Once that became the only one that I worship, God inside. Once I became clear that I was under no laws but God's, everything shifted. Do I follow the rules out there? Well, the ones that make sense, yes. The nonsensical ones, no, because I can see that they're made up. And the ones that make sense, I follow them because I'm having an experience and I want to enjoy my experience. I want it to be fun and easy. I don't want to have an experience of an accident. Well, if I follow the common sense rules, then I can stay for the most part without having to have an accident. But if an accident happens and it's in my path and it's part of my journey, and I'll listen to God inside to know what God wants me to do with that experience. But it is so peaceful in a mind that listens to God within. I could not have experienced this before. My mind was so busy. I was trying to figure everything out by myself, reading the magazines and hearing what all the idols thought, buying what the latest newspaper, the latest show tune, song would tell me that I needed, or the latest fashion statement, or what the Kardashians were telling me I should wear or not wear, blah, blah, blah. I, like everybody else, was living from the outside idols telling me what I needed to be, do, and have so that I could be peaceful inside. But when I began my journey and I began to come inside and realize that I am the light of the world, I am the love and light that I've been looking for, it's already in me. Yes, for a little while that was quite a journey, because I was thinking I'm special because I'm the light of the world. And then I had to work through letting go my spiritualized ego and and coming to a place of humbleness. And it took time. But from that place, when I listen to the teachings of A Course in Miracles, it is really, really clear. I don't want to idolize anything that's external. And as we move through this process of ascension, more and more of what we thought was a source of safety, a source of peace, a source of freedom outside is going to break down. It is going to show itself as a fake, as it having had no power except for the power that we gave it. So we are being invited to, if you're ready, gently recognize that there is no such thing as power outside of you. Seek not outside of yourself. Then this goes on to say, for all your pain comes simply from a futile search for what you want, insisting where it must be found externally. What if it's not there? Do you prefer that you be right or happy? Be you glad that you are told where happiness abides, and seek no longer elsewhere. You will fail, but it is given you to know the truth and not to seek for it outside of yourself. Course in Miracles has made it really clear for me. I can only be happy or right. And yes, people say, oh, but I want to be right and happy. Well, the right that the Course is speaking about is right about one thing and one thing only. All power is here. This is where happiness resides, because once you know that there's nothing lacking, nothing missing, nothing that is really truly important and relevant to our total and complete enjoyment of this life experience, which is that relationship with God within. Once you come inside and you feel it there, you can really clearly, easily recognize all of the ones that are operating outside of us, attempting to get our attention, working really hard to get our money, working really hard to get us to buy in through fears, through agreements, through all kinds of manipulations to give our power out there. Once you realize that nothing outside of you has power over you, you cease to need to be right about anything. You just participate in this experience from a place of such peace within. And you know what's really amazing is so many spiritual people I know, I have been one of those for a very long time. We say that we want the peace of God and we know it in our head, but in our heart, we're really afraid that if we don't follow the rules, if we don't do this, oh my gosh, something bad's going to happen. Well, we need to move through that paradigm of doing things the right way according to the world and come in where happiness and eternal joy and peace and guidance emanates from. There is absolutely nothing external to ourselves that is ever going to make us happy. It's just not possible. And this ascension is going to make that really evident pretty soon. Because as things continue to break down out there, you're going to have to experience the pain and the discomfort of looking at your attachments to those idols that you thought made you happy and safe and secure and free, because they don't. But this is a journey that everybody has to undertake at their own pace, at the right and perfect time for them. So wherever you are in your journey, I just want to leave you with examples of my own personal life. It took years for me to get to this place, but if I can do it, so can you. And I'm going to continue to remind each and every one that we are the light of the world. This process of ascension is for us to shine our light, to beam out the happiness that is found only within when we come to know where the Father, Mother, God resides inside each and every one of us. Exactly where all of the power that we could possibly ever desire is. And from this place of alignment with God and with love and with light, we are going to experience in the fifth dimension a whole new earth that is going to emanate from within us, because we are going to be projecting the fifth dimension just as much as we've been projecting the third. Only we're projecting it with power out there. The fifth dimension is from the power in here. We're going to be sharing something absolutely magical and beautiful, where nobody out there is going to have power over us, because we're all going to be aware that the power comes from within. And from that place, we will co-create heaven on earth, exactly where our happiness is. Do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? Well, then I'm going to read this again. Seek not outside of yourself if you want to find happiness. If you want to be right, keep looking outside, but you will not find eternal peace. You will not find everlasting happiness. Thanks a bunch, and I'll see you in the next episode of You Are the Light of the World. Thank you.